Welcome to Management 3050. My name is Dr. Fenwick, and I will be your instructor for this course, both online and in the class. In my background, I've uh, served mostly as an organizational consultant, both internal and external. I've also been in leadership roles, and my specialty areas are conflict resolution and mediation, teams, leadership, and applications of mindfulness, but I'll talk more about that in class. The purpose of this video is just to give you a brief overview of, of the 3050 and what we'll be doing. And notice it says this class is about you and your immediate next career step, whether it be a new job, a promotion, a higher degree, or moving to another profession. That's what this class was designed to help you with. And also in the short term, not necessarily the long term. In other words, we're going to focus on some practical skills that you can start using now. And for example, if you're looking to step into leadership as your calling, we're going to cover leadership. Are you driven to make a difference in the world? We're going to talk about that. Do you consider yourself a motivated achiever? Are you looking to break out of your shell and set your sights higher? If you answered yes to any of these, you're definitely in the right place. And once again, the focus is going to be on application. So to start you off in this course, I would say always check announcements. On the homepage, I don't have anything posted right now, but at the top, the announcements will show up there too. So in other words, the most recent announcements will, but you need to check on announcements. And then you'll see, we're going to go through the syllabus here in a minute. The modules, this is how you'll access the text and the content, and of course your grades. So we'll talk through these. Let's move into the syllabus. And as we do that, you can see my information here for office hours. I will be in the classroom after class for at least an hour on Tuesdays and Thursdays. My son also teaches here at Bowling Green, and he has a class after mine, and I will be waiting on him to complete his class because we're commuting in together. So I'll be around every class for at least an hour. You see my Bowling Green email and my cell phone, 248-792-1222. I'm okay. Send a message through Canvas. You can email me at my Bowling Green email address. I check both of those once a day. If something's really pressing, you want to get a fast answer, you can send me a text to my cell phone, but just include your name and the school so I know who I'm dealing with. I teach at more than one school, so it can get confusing. Notice the description, fundamentals of organizational theory, objectives, policies, decision-making, authority, management, development, leadership, communication, motivation, effective human relations, management principles. We've got some great content, and also by that includes leadership, conflict resolution. So imagine your next career move, your next dream job or promotion, and choose that ideal organization that you would love to work in next. And that's what we're looking to prepare you to do. And there are no books to purchase for this class. The text is built in. I'll show you. Matter of fact, you'll access the text through the modules up here on the left, right here. When you click on modules, you'll access text. And I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute. Assigned readings. Let's take a look at a module here real quick. This is the first module in the class. It's called Start Here. And there's an overview module or overview video. You can watch that. I'll list the class agenda. This is what we're going to do in class. Supporting content for what we do in class and sometimes for what we do online. They'll always be listed in the top like this. Then when we have assignments, these are graded assignments that you need to complete. See, and notice we're always going to use the first 3 letters of a module to describe it. So the STA stands for the first 3 letters of Start Here. And you're going to have an individual post, and I'll show you what that looks like here shortly. Then after everyone has posted, everyone in your team has posted their individual posts, you'll come together as a team and you're going to summarize the themes to each of the questions, and you're going to post a team summary. Both are graded assignments. And then also there'll be a team charter that is a graded assignment that you're going to complete in the Start Here module. And then you can see this is the first module. We'll spend the first 2 weeks getting this done. Then we'll start to move into the text. When we get into the text, we'll enter the text with the fundamentals module, which you'll see. I can show you what it looks like here. And we'll start introducing quizzes as well. And then you can, as you can see on below, how you'll access content. This is a content module. This is a situation that you're going to be dealing with, and more content. But we'll talk more about that later. You don't have to worry about that right now. We're going to focus on Start Here. So I want to get back here, and let's we move to the syllabus. I want to cover content details, but I'll come back to that. The content structure. In week 1, I'm going to give you input into selecting the team that you're on. It'll either have 6 or 7 members on your team, and everyone's going to be on a team. So if you don't self-select onto a team in week 1, and we'll finish that in week 2, I'll sign it. And so everyone that shows on the roster is going to be on a team, and that team, I'll organize that team here on Canvas as well. There's also going to be peer evaluations at the end of class where you rate the performance of your team members at the end of the course, and it's a way to hold team members accountable. The course is based upon 1,000 points, and you can see the grading scale is pretty straightforward. If we look at assignments, altogether there's going to be 9 assignments you complete as a team, which accounts for 240 points. That's 24% of your grade. There's 2 exams you'll take individually. That's 28%. That's a midterm and a final. There's 6 graded quizzes. That's 18%. Each one is aligned with a content module. There's 9 individual assignments, which we'll run through here shortly, worth 30%. In week 13, there's an extra credit activity that you will pursue as a team, and you can get up to 30 points on that, so it's worth 3%. So the 7 individual discussion board posts, as you can see, they're all going to deal with a simulation called IDC West, which will be described in each of the modules except for Start Here. And there'll be solutions to the challenges. In each module, the solution you come up with, you will use the content from that module for the solution. So And you'll see that in each module there is a principle, and that's what you'll be dealing with in your challenges. We'll explain that more when we get into the content. There's also, as you can see, there'll be a rubric for the grading for each of these, which you'll be able to see. There's a role reflection and a team experience that you will write. This is towards the end of class. You'll reflect on the experience you had in your team and the different roles you served. And then there's that peer evaluation. Peer evaluation is worth 85 points. No plagiarism. I need, especially in teams, everyone's accountable for that. There's 2 exams. You have 120 minutes each for them. That's quite a bit of time. There's 70 questions, 2 points per question, 140 points on each one. And when we get closer to that time, I'll cover the content that's on these exams. There are graded quizzes right here, and they're associated with each module. You have 2 attempts, and as you can see, there's 30 questions, and so a point each, and for 180 points. All right, for individual activities, at the end of the semester, you can see the points system there. And then the extra credit in week 13, which, by the way, is a fun activity. You'll enjoy it, and you'll have a chance to win extra credit. You'll actually be able to statistically demonstrate team performance. Okay, I'm going to let you work through most of this and see if you have any questions. I got some frequently asked questions here at the bottom that you can sort through. Now, I want to go back up and hit the content details. And for the content details, whoops, let me get back here on this page. Once again, you can see why the course makes a difference. Executive summary. How much will we cover? I wanted to talk about this. I think this is important. I work in collaboration with Dr. Katie on this course and this content. And one of the things that was done is multiple textbooks were studied for the content they cover in Principles of Management. And as far as that goes, organizational behavior too. And most have between 15 and 20 chapters, and a class really became a process of cramming information. And that's why you saw this picture right here. So what was done was the fundamental content, the critical content, was boiled down so that we could do a deeper dive in what was really important, and you have a better chance to retain it. And so you'll see here in a minute the content we're actually going to cover. The textbook is online, it's free, it's built into Canvas. And the topics are, we start here. There's no text for that, no textbook for that. But the text starts with the fundamentals in week 3. And then you can see we're covering groups. And we'll spend roughly 2 weeks on each one of these. Human resources, leadership, motivation, decision making, and we're going to scan strategic planning towards the end of the class. And these are the fundamental chapters of content that exist in all texts on this subject. The case simulation is IDC West. And if we look at the structure, let me see if I can pull this down here. You'll always, episode, you'll get your mission, you'll solve these challenges, and then you'll debrief the results. And that's kind of a pattern that you'll be doing. Now, if we look at the modules, whoops, let me pull this down again. Notice here in the modules, introduction of the topic, you have your competencies in your episode, and the number of these will vary. You have the conclusion, the debrief in episode 2. So that's going to be repeated throughout the text. The syllabus and modules are the official guides for due dates. At the bottom of the syllabus, you'll see due dates listed. Also, with each assignment, the due dates in the modules listed there too. So I don't think you have any trouble with that. You'll see, I'll cover them in class as well. They're generally spread equally over the semester, so we don't have to rush through them. You can take your time to learn them. A module will be made available when a previous module ends, and we've discovered over time that's the best way to do it, otherwise it gets too confusing. Due dates will run at 11:59, and once again we'll cover that. All right, so let's look at the sequence of things. Let me grab this and see if I can get it up there. All right, it's a 2-step cycle. Notice in step 1 what you're going to do. You're going to read the content. Now this is after we complete the Start Here module. In the Start Here module, you're still going to read content. It's just not a text. But in the modules, you'll read the content. You'll take a practice quiz for each segment of that. And the advantage to that is the practice quizzes use the same question bank as the graded quizzes. So that gets you ready for the graded quiz. You'll submit a discussion board post individually, and each person on your team will do that. And then at the end, you can take the module graded quiz. You'll come back into class and you'll work for part of the time in your class as a team, and you'll work on your summary. You'll summarize the themes to the questions that were posted. And you'll create a team summary, and you'll post that team summary, and that team summary is a graded assignment as well. So you'll get a grade for your individual posts and a grade for your team summary posts. And you will need to post here in order to get a grade here. Now, I did want to cover a little bit about workload and expectations, because sometimes I think people think that a course that's blended learning or has some online work is going to be easier. It's about the same as a traditional course. There's a lot of students in this course, so there's some work covered through Canvas, some work covered in the class. But I think being in the class will make it easier, and I'll be covering announcements in class as well. And you'll see in the details section there's support available to you. Now, I wanted to get back to a module just for a minute, and now that you've seen that format, and notice again, let's say this is the first content module. This will come up week 3. And notice that there'll be an overview video, be a class agenda for what we'll do for our 2 weeks in class. You have your assignments, which your individual posts, your team summary, the quiz that you do individually. Then you have your content, your episodes. You can see there's competency A, competency B, your situation, and there's a competency C, and a conclusion. And notice that due dates will always be listed with your assignments right here in the module. And if we go back to the syllabus, if we get down to the bottom of the syllabus, you're going to see that once again, all assignments are listed down here with dates, times. So I think that's the easiest way to track this. And so the last thing I want to say is, do not post your individual discussion board posts for the Start Here module until we get the teams formed and I can list them here in Canvas, because you'll simply have to repost, because it won't post in the correct place until the teams are up on Canvas. And we should have the teams up. We should finalize those on Tuesday of week 2. And then you'll have some time in class to start getting work done. So I think we have some really good content. It's applied. We've even had students from the past say that some of the behavioral interview questions that they answered in the modules, they actually had on job interviews, and of course they nailed the interview because they had already had a prepared answer to the question. So the content is very useful, and I think the course is very active. You're going to work in a team. Teams are the primary work unit for most organizations today, so we're going to model that structure, and we're going to work through a team. So there's both individual work and teamwork. And I hope that you enjoy the class, and I'm glad you're here. I'll see you in class Tuesday. Thanks.